This is the last in this section on syncopation in Hal Leonard's book. Very often at this point I'll skip over this to go do something like De Coloris, just to give people a break from all this counting. But for this series of lessons we might as well go ahead with it right now. We're in the key of D. The key of D has two sharps, F sharps and C sharps. As you know from about 100 lessons ago when we worked out our major scales. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. The primary chords in D are D, G, and A. A is the dominant chord. The 5 chord is dominant, the 1 chord is tonic, the 4 chord is subdominant. So D is tonic, G subdominant, the 4 is below the 5, which is dominant, and the dominant can be a 7, dominant 7. We're working on syncopation here, so you know right away we're going to be playing eighth notes and emphasizing the ands of the beats. Our first note is F sharp on beat 1. It's an eighth note, so it's only half a beat, and we're playing again on the and. That's a quarter note, so it takes up 2 eighth notes. It takes the and the 2, leaving an and for 2 and. So we have 1 and. If you can see from there, I've got a tie on these 2 G's, so beat 3 is not played, it's tied to the and. This pattern we've seen many times. 1 and, we play the F sharp on 4, F sharp on 1, E, eighth notes on 2 and on the and that is tied to the 3, so we emphasize the and there. Bar 1 then is 1 and 2, the G is on the and, we don't play 3, the F sharp is on the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next bar is 1, 2 and. 1, 2 and. We don't play 3 or 4 because we're tied. This rhythm, basically the same as this without the tie. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. 1 and 2 and. Eighth note to quarter note, 1 and 2. That always leaves an eighth note on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Same thing in the next bar, except we're tied to the 3. 1 and 2 and. Here's that phrase again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 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 Next section, next 4 bars, starts on the B. We're on a G chord. So we have chord tones, B to D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Chord tones on D, the A note, 1, 2, and the D note, 3, 4. Back on a D, F sharp for 2 beats, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 1. Oh Mary, don't you weep. Chorus now, still basically the same melody and rhythms. Now it's a dotted quarter. That's 3 eighths, 1 and 2, leaving the and of 2 for this G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The tie takes away beat 3, but we play on the and of 3 and the 4 and the and. That bar again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3. Same rhythm from above. This rhythm repeated here, down a tone in the A chord now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This rhythm repeated down a tone on the D chord. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Notice the voice leading here. On the D we are up on F sharps and G's, working our way down. On the A we're on E's and F sharps, working our way down. Same rhythm, different notes on the G. Again, chord tones though, the B and the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the 5 and the 1 of a D chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up to the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. What you should do with your own song is mark in the counts. The more marked up your books are, the better. So this is beat 1 and this is the and. This eighth note tied to 3 is an and, so we didn't play on 2. In your books, I like to put the 2 in brackets so you know not to play it. This 3 we're not playing, so we put it in brackets and mark beat 4. The next bar is easy. 1, 2. The 2 is in 8th note, so 1, 2, and we're tied, so we don't play 3 or 4. So we get 1, 2, and 3 and 4 are unplayed. This bar with the dotted quarter notes are a beat and a half, so it's 1 and, that's 1 beat. Start into beat 2, but only take half the beat because we're only getting 3/8 notes, a beat and a half, leaving another half beat this last 8th note on 2 and. We don't play 3, and then we play and 4 and. I'll play straight through the tune now, just the tune, with a little bit more tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. You should get each of the rhythms memorized. Once again, as I've mentioned, one of my mistakes was always to play straight through a song, straight through the next song, straight through the next, just flipping from page to page in a book. I enjoyed that. I loved testing my reading that way, but I didn't really get good at memorizing by sight what rhythms looked like. Something like this rhythm should be ingrained by the time you're finished learning that bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 If I could, Then you move on. Once you really feel that bar, the next bar would be easy to learn. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Put them together. When you're good at this one, you're already pretty good at the next. You'll recognize much of it already. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. After a while, you get to the point where you can just see them and hear them without counting them. This one, you get a beat and a half. You know how long that will be. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. With or without notes, you could write out these rhythms, as we've talked about before. I just fill a page with rhythms and practice them over and over and over again, counting them out loud and also playing them afterward without counting so you can hear how they go. So if you'd like to play along, I'll play the chords for this now. 1 and 2, 3, 4. One, two, and 3, 4. See you guys later.